A very good morning to my dear computer students. So let us start our today's lecture. Beta, yesterday we have finished our chapter 15. Okay, now we will be starting up with our new chapter, that is chapter number 9. Okay, this chapter is a part of term 2. Okay, we have completed with our term 1 syllabus till now. Okay, now we'll be starting our term 2 syllabus. So today's chapter name is data structures. In data structures, we'll be mainly studying these stacks, queues, and lists. Okay, and we have discussed in a session also that there is an option this time between stacks and queues. So mainly we'll be going with stacks. Okay, so let us know what all we'll be reading out in this chapter. First, the introduction part will be covered regarding your data structure, then the elementary data representation. Then we'll be reading out different data structures that are available in Python. And then we'll be going with the operations on the data structures. Fine. And then we'll be reading out in detail the stacks. And later we'll see if we want to cover queues also. Okay. So beta, let us start our lecture. What is data? See, something that is given in raw form is known as data. Okay, when we organize it, when we do processing of it, it becomes information. Okay, so data is like I say 1 2 3 4 5, this all is a data only, but through this data we cannot extract something meaningful out of it. So if we want to extract meaningful out of it, then we need to process it, and once we process it, it will become information. Okay, so beta, data, like I say, 30 40 50, you will never know of what thing I'm talking about. So that was your, let us say, the marks you have obtained in various tests. So after doing processing, you are able to get the information out of it. So data can be represented, it can be stored, it can be organized, it can be processed, and it can be managed. Okay, and now the data structures. Actually, data structures are the ways to store the data inside your computer. Okay, so they are the ways through which we'll be storing the data inside your computer. I hope you are getting what is data structures. So the data will be stored in different structures like stacks, queues, linked lists, trees, graphs. There are many data structures that Python is offering and other programming languages are also offering. So we can select any one data structure to store our data for a particular type of thing. Okay, so it is totally our choice which data structure we will be selecting, because different data structures have different features, different advantages, and different ways of processing. Okay, so let us study the data structure in detail now. A data structure is a named group of data of different data types which is stored in a specific way and can be processed as a single unit. Okay, you can perform different operations, it will have different properties, it will have different behaviors. So we must learn the different behaviors, different properties, different operations, then we should select which data structure we have to go with, and according to our requirement only we should decide which is the best one for us. I'll be telling you the benefits of the data structures and the practical implementation in our life one by one. So let us now study the definitions of the different terms like raw data. Raw data is your raw facts, okay, like simple values I was talking about. Data item is represented through a single unit of values of certain type. Like I say 1, 2, 3, so they all are numbers. Okay, they all are numbers. Okay, so data can be a set of values, it can be a mixture of different things, but data item, when we are saying it is of certain type only. Okay, so now let us study the data structure. Okay, what is data type? Data type is a set of values along with well-defined operations. Okay, set of values with well-defined operations stating its input-output behavior. Okay, like he is giving an example that you cannot put decimal if you have taken data type as integer. You see, in Python we have read many data types like integer, char, float, decimal, double. Okay, there are many data types. So actually, in simple way, if I try to define the data type, it means the type of data that you are going to use for a particular type of variable will define its data type. Like if I say a is equals to 5, okay, a is equals to 5. Now a is my variable and I want to store 5. 5 is an integer type value inside this variable. Okay, so what I will say, what is the data type of variable a is integer data type. Okay, what is the data type of variable a? It's integer data type. And how do I know it? Because I am going to store an integer type value here. So this is called data type. Okay, so the same he is trying to say, we cannot store a decimal point in a integer one. Fine beta. So next is yours. What is a data structure? Okay, what is a data structure? It is the physical representation that is clearly visible uh, through the way of storing, accessing, manipulating the data stored inside the data structure. But in simple terms, I told you data structure is the way of storing data inside a particular structure. Okay, like the data structures are like stacks, queues, linked lists, graphs, trees, and many others are there. Okay, so we need to study them in detail and then we should decide which data structure we'll be going with. Fine. Similarly, Python offers lists also. What is a list? It is a collection of different data types together which can store heterogeneous. See, one word is homogeneous and one word is heterogeneous. Homogeneous means similar type of values and heterogeneous means different types of values. Different types of value, I mean that it can be a combination of integer, character, your, like I'm saving your record. So firstly I'll write down your name, that is of character type, right? Or it's a string we can say. Then secondly I'm going to store your roll number. Roll number will be integer type. Okay, and I need to store your marks also, that will be of your float type. So list will contain heterogeneous data. Heterogeneous means which is not of same type. So you are storing here character type data also, numeric type data also, and you are storing float type data also. So you are storing heterogeneous data. Okay, so list is a collection of different data types. What all data types we are handling here in the list? Character, number, and float. Okay, so we can use this list as a data structure for storing the different types of data inside your Python memory. Okay, Python software, right? Next is your different data structures can be classified as simple data structures and your compound data structures. So simple data structures are normally built from your primitive. Primitive means the basic ones like integer, reals, characters, booleans. इनसे मिलके जो बना है, that is your simple data structure. Okay, so such type of data structure examples are arrays, or we can say the linked lists, linear lists. Okay, so linear list will be studying after we will be studying your stacks and queues, then we will come to this also. This is very simple, you might have done this in your class 11, so I'll be taking it for your revision, but later after I will be covering I will be completing up with the stacks and queues. Okay, so beta linear or we can say the simple data types that are based on your primitive data types. Okay, now we are discussing about compound data types. So they can be further classified into two types. One is your linear data structures and other one is your non-linear data structure. Okay, so how we can define the compound data structures? The simple data structures can be obtained in various ways to form more complex when we combine the simple data structures together to form a compound data structure. Okay, so when we are combining simple data structures together, that is giving us a compound data structure. Okay, so beta now we will be discussing about what are linear data. As the name itself is suggesting, we are going to store the data linearly, means in a sequential way. Okay, one after another, means in a consecutive memory locations. Like firstly we are storing data here in the memory location. Okay, then we will store the data just after it. We will not leave spaces. Okay, so we will be storing next data here, like next data here, next data, just in the continuous fashion. Okay, linearly. So this is called linear data structure. So these all are stacks, queues, and your linked list. They are linear data structure that will store the data in continuous fashion, or we can say कॉन्टिन्यूस फैशन को कॉन्टिग्यूअस बोलते हैं कंप्यूटर की लैंग्वेज में. ओके, कॉन्टिग्यूअस मेमोरी लोकेशन, कॉन्टिग्यूअस, GOUS, contiguous means continuous only. Okay, so linear data structures like stacks, queues, and linked list, okay, that store the data in contiguous memory locations. Fine. Next is non-linear data structures. Actually, they are multi-level data structures and they are non-linear also. Means they will not store the data in contiguous memory locations. Python built-in linear data structures are lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets also. Okay. Built-in. These are built-in, means that are previously defined, that we are not going to construct. Okay. They are predefined. Okay. So these are built-in. Built-in means inbuilt data structures. Okay, so now next topic is the classification of data structure through your flow diagram. Okay, these are your simple data structures, they are your compound data structures. So simple data structures are arrays or linear list, and your compound data structures are linear or non-linear. In linear we know stacks, queues, and linked list, and in non-linear trees, graphs are also there, but in your chapter we will not be discussing about it because that is a higher level topic. Okay, then now let us study the linear lists arrays. We know array is basically used to store the similar kind of data. Means if I am storing your roll numbers, then all the roll numbers will be stored only. Means all the students' roll numbers will be stored together only. This is also linear. Okay, array is also linear, and that is a simple data structure only. So it is a finite, it will contain a finite number of elements in it. Okay, and the number you will define, and moreover they will be of similar kind. Okay, if I am storing marks, so I can store marks only in all the arrays, means array elements. Okay, so similar type of data will be stored, and we will be referring to each data with the help of the index. Like if the array, this is the array name and this is the index of array. So if the array name is LIL, then its index is 0. So if I write LIL 0, so it will give me the first element. Okay, if this is my second element, so what is the index? 1. So you see, we are starting with the index 0. If we are starting with the index 0, that will refer to my first element of the array. If the index is 1, then I am referring to the second element of the array. If my index is 2, then I am referring to the third element of the array. It is not compulsory that we always must start with 0 index. We can start it with 1, but generally or by default it starts with 0. So in most of the books also you will find that array representation, the index, we are starting from 0. So most of the cases you will find it starting with 0 only. But it is not at all compulsory that we have to start with 0. We can define this index through your loops. Okay, I'll let you know how to write them if you are interested in that. Okay, so arrays can be one dimensional, it can be two dimensional, or it can be multi-dimensional. See, this is what we have used is one dimensional array. How do I know this is a one dimensional array? Because I can see only one subscript. See, this is your subscript. 9 is your subscript and LIL is the name of the array. If I say A10, A1 I say, so A is the name of my array and 1 is the subscript. Okay, so if there is one subscript, then it is one dimensional array. If I write 1 2, so it will become two dimensional array. Okay, this you might have seen in your mathematics problems also. Okay, so this first index will refer to row and this second index will refer to column. Fine. So row and column. Okay, like in class you are sitting, rows and columns are there, benches are arranged in rows and column format. So first rows, in this 3 students are sitting. Okay, in another row again 3 students are sitting. Okay, again third row 3 students are sitting. So this will become my 3 cross 3 array. 3 cross 3. How 3 cross 3? Because we have 3 rows and 3 columns. This is my first row, this is my second row, and this is my third row. This is my first column, this is my second column, this is second column, this is my third column. So 1 2 refers to first row and second column. So I am referring, by writing this A12, I am referring to this particular element. Okay. So beta, what is a stack? Next topic is stack. Okay, so just one thing I more want to add to it. If one dimensional, then one subscript. If two dimensional, then we'll be having two subscript. And if we are having three subscript, okay, then it will be a three dimensional array. Fine. And if you will keep on adding the more subscript, it means more than 3, so more than 2, so we are naming as multi-dimensional array only. Fine. Now let us come to the point stacks. What is a stack? Like you are looking at the picture also, stack of plates. Okay, so stack is just like your bag only. Okay, in which you are putting material, the very first material that you have put inside into it, so that material actually will be placed at the very bottom of it, right? So this particular plate was put at the very first, okay, and this was placed at the second position, then third. But how do we will be able to remove these? Okay, we will be able to remove these plates at the last, means the last one has to be removed first. Okay, like it is your 9th 10th plate. So firstly your 10th plate, let us say this is your 10th plate. Okay, so we have put the first plate where it has gone at the bottom, and the last we have put is placed at the very top of it. Fine. So if we are extracting the data that we have put inside the stack, how do we refer to that? Like, see, this is the representation of the stack. If I am putting first data here, okay, second data is here, okay, third data is here. So at the very first reference, how do I be able to access my data? See, firstly I'll be able to access 3, then I'll be able to access 2, and at last I'll be able to access 3. So by this access principle I can make it summarized form like this, last in first out. Okay, last in first out means whosoever will go in last, okay, will come out first. So last in first out. Okay, last in was third and first out. So the principle of stack is LIFO, that is last in first out, and the principle of queue is FIFO, like you are standing in a queue to buy tickets on the counter. So whosoever has come first will get the ticket first. So principle of the queue will be first in first out, first in first out. Okay, so we'll be discussing about these data structures tomorrow in detail. So please have a review of it so that you may feel comfortable tomorrow when we are continuing. Thank you so much, beta.